spirit of cricket is a really precious thing.
The spirit of cricket.
Does the spirit of cricket exist?
It's about the spirit of the game.
The spirit of cricket is a bit cliche, but actually it's important to what makes the game.
What is it, this game we call cricket? Some say it's just that, a game. A way to pass the time. Made up of overs and innings, wickets and runs that can last 5 days, or a mere afternoon. But it's more than that, isn't it? It's more than the stumps and the wickets, the bat and the ball, more than winning and losing. What makes cricket cricket is us, the people. The people that play, volunteer, organise, spectate and facilitate. From the leaders on the field to those behind the scenes. Cricket is what we make it, through the values we share. It's a game run on respect, built on fairness and decency, where we embrace enjoyment, build belonging and progress with purpose, so that to anyone watching, they see a game for me. These are the values that make this game great, and they've always been there. But it's up to us now to carry them forward, with every ball, every stroke, every session of play, so that together we can help shape this beautiful game, this game that we love, this game we call cricket.
Calling England cricketers.
My name is Hassan.
My name is Ravi.
My name is Taylor.
And this is my way to play.
You might be used to big crowds, big stadiums, big pitches.
My way to play is different.
I don't play on the pitch, I play on the street.
Playing beach cricket.
Hi, Robbie. Let's see who comes out on top there.
Yeah, hopefully me.
Showing all your friends how it's done.
Hassan, can I play?
Yeah, sure, you want a bat?
Yes, please.
Ready, Rav?
Ready?
Rules? Let's just say make them up as we go.
You see the ball swing, I hear it jingle.
Over the wall, you're out.
Get my ball back.
No boundaries, just a shoreline.
So, do you fancy changing those whites for chackies?
Fancy swapping your spikes for bare feet?
Fancy putting your senses to the test? Come and play my way.
What? That was awesome.
Well played. You're too good today.
Great hitting.
What a great shot.
Yes, Robbie!
We're here today to launch the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026, which we are hosting here in England and Wales across 7 iconic venues next summer.
To have a home World Cup, to have watched it in the crowd and to have some a competition like that to look forward to next year is really, really special.
I want to support women's cricket in as many ways as I can, and I think we all need to find ways to support them, attend the games and root for our favourite teams and all the players.
I feel like I've played World Cups all around the world now, and it's going to be so exciting to play at home, play at Old Trafford. I think it's really exciting.
The energy today at this event was amazing. Sitting next to Malala, sitting across from Ellie. Energizing, empowering, and I think it was kind of a call of duty.
I think today's really important because you've brought a whole bunch of people with different perspectives into one room. It's very rare that you get everybody to clear their diaries to do that, but it just goes to show how important it is as well.
It'll pass quicker
than you can ever imagine. Even the build-up to it, I think the build-up is almost just as special as the tournament itself.
You can kind of feel like something is changing.
You immediately feel like you're part of it and you're part of a movement.
What it means for us to host a World Cup, and I look back as a huge sports fan and think of the Euros for the women and what that did for women's sport, for football. We've now got a chance to go beyond what football did, and for it to become that seminal moment for cricket, for sport in this country.
But every time there is a victory, it is a ripple effect. It affects women's salaries and what they get because of their skill set, their dynamic personalities, and the audience that they grow. Everybody wins.
I think that it's just a really great opportunity to be able to build now on everything that we've spoken about today, so that next year is just the most amazing summer and it's a brilliant event.
We need your support, we love your support, and you know, hopefully you can roar us on to many victories.
It's the year that women's cricket breaks into the mainstream and stays there.
We look cool and feel amazing.
Our games are full of action.
This is the way we play. Give it 100. Sign up now.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. Every session is all out action. All invited, even mums and dads. Have fun. Catch, go. All stars and All Stars.
Maddie's called heads. It is heads.
Bat first, please. We're going to have a bat first, please.
Maddie, you're going to have a bat. Why are you going to do that?
I think runs on the board, put them a bit under pressure for the chase, back ourselves either way, but yeah, I think we're going to go for a bat today.
Okay, 9 out of 9 so far. One more game, and this trophy could be yours. How do you feel?
Yeah, feeling good. As we said earlier, we don't want to get complacent. Obviously, new game, fresh start again, and see if we can get that win.
Well, go well. Thank you very much. Two captains just shaking hands. Saskia, what would you have done?
We weren't too bothered, to be honest. We probably would have batted first as well, but we weren't too bothered either way.
Quite evenly matched. You've won 8 out of your 9 games. One more game, and you could be taking that back home with you. How do you feel?
Oh, excited. I think it's a great opportunity another game for us to show our skills. So we'll stick together as we always do and try and get the result that we want.
Amazing. Go well. Thank you so much. Saskia Hawley from Middlesex and Maddie Ward from Yorkshire. We start at 6:45 for the final of the Vitality Blast Women's League 2 final. We cannot wait.
Welcome back to Northampton for the final of the inaugural Vitality Blast Women's League 2. Yorkshire looking to make it a perfect 10 wins from 10 in the competition this season, but will be sternly tested by a Middlesex side who themselves have 8 wins from 9. Middlesex beating Glamorgan by 10 wickets with 9.2 overs to spare in semi-final 1. They've had a long break to rest and recuperate. Meanwhile, Yorkshire's semi-final finished just over an hour or so ago, winners by 7 wickets with a slightly less comfortable 15 balls to spare against Glamorgan. So that's brought us to where we are. Maddie Ward, the Yorkshire skipper, calling correctly as heads from the toss against her counterpart in shot there, Saskia Hawley. And Yorkshire have won the toss and chosen to bat here on a surface that you'd have to say has looked relatively decent for batting all day, but has offered a fair bit with the new ball in terms of swing, and has offered something for the spinners as well. It's been a good all-round cricket wicket. Speaking of good all-round cricket eggs, alongside me is Georgie Heath.
Well, how nice. I'll take a good egg. I think that's one of the highest compliments one can receive. I like to think I'm sort of soft-boiled. Yeah, just a nice runny yolk.
So we've got Georgie
Hard
Boyce.
Exterior, soft in the middle. That's what it is.
I was going to say we've got Georgie Boyce and Lauren Winfield Hill. But we do also have, well, we don't literally have eggs up here. But anyway. Anyway. It's a 5-4 offside field. Deep extra cover and a deep third of the 2 out. And we're not far from the first ball. Katie Wolfe will be a bit nervous.
Floodlights just coming into play here in Northampton. We've had a mixed bag of weather today as well. The first match, rain affected, then sun blazed all afternoon through the second.
Now, Wolfe's first 2 overs against Leicestershire in the semi-final went for 21. She didn't have the best individual game, despite Middlesex winning it, but here she is, opening the bowling in the final. The first ball is just guided away out to deep extra by Winfield Hill. Now, both these openers made good scores in the semi-final that's recently concluded, so that will give them a bit of confidence. Winfield Hill made 35 off 39. Boyce made 38 off 37.
Yeah, she looked really comfortable, didn't she, Lauren Winfield Hill? And then Georgie Boyce as well. They made a hell of a start. Just what they needed in that chase. Set the foundation well.
Nicely bowled by Wolfe, nicely played by Boyce, who is off the mark with run number 285 in the Vitality Blast this season. She's 11 after that run behind Francesca Sweet in the chase for the unofficial, not actually given out, Women's Vitality Blast League 2 purple cap.
I guess she'll be eyeing up that 300 as well for the tournament.
Absolutely. Finty Trustle will have something to say about that as well. She's on 264 with 1 innings left. Wolf's just turned away, dot ball.
Yeah, much tidier start this for Wolfe. Gone for just the 2 runs. so far. It's a tricky one, this, because obviously Middlesex have had such a long time since their match earlier on today. They've been sat around, you know, getting the fluids in, the food in, bit of massage. Yorkshire, they could have kept their batting pads on.
Nice looking drive, but no run for that. Yeah, the widespread consensus from finals days of this nature is that you would rather be the side that doesn't have the long gap. And Richard Pyra, the Yorkshire men's head coach, was actually talking about this from his experience playing in the Yorkshire men's team back in 2012, where they won a semi-final against Sussex and then struggled to get up for the final against Hampshire in the evening. Swipe and a miss from Winfield Hill, beautifully bowled by Wolf. Pyra said, we played first, had about 3.5 hours off and struggled to get back up for that final, which sounds crazy, but we'd had such a big high of beating Sussex. These are the things I'll be talking to the girls about, past experience to try and help us on the day. Also for PMOA reasons, anti-corruption reasons, Middlesex couldn't also leave the ground, which can be tricky, I guess. Winfield Hill driving nicely again straight at mid-off though, so great over from Wolf, which finishes with 4 dots, 2 without loss after the first.
Yeah, really good start. Great comeback from struggling a little bit earlier on in that semi-final match, a bit expensive. Obviously, we've got the Tier 1 and Tier 3 finals coming up tomorrow, but in Tier 1, it's an eliminator and a final, so it doesn't have 2 semi-finals like we've had today, and that's coming up tomorrow at the Oval. But today here, it's been 2 semi-finals and a final.
Yeah, it's an intriguing difference. You wouldn't blame Yorkshire's rivals from the other side of the Pennines, Lancashire Thunder, for feeling a touch disappointed to have finished 4th and missed out in that Tier 1 setup, given there's 4 here today. But them's the breaks, and they of course knew that was what the plan was for things at the start of the season, and it's a continuation of format on from the Charlotte Edwards Cup. Saskia Hawley, Middlesex's ever dependable captain, on. He's smacked downtown by Boyce, using lovely footwork, but it's a slow outfield, a lot of rain on it, and a diving stop to put in to keep the ball in play. The ball was just trickling towards the rope by the time Artemis Downer got there.
Yeah, it just didn't quite have enough on it, did it? It had more elevation than extension. More height than distance.
It's just guided straight to cover. Yeah, if you like your golf, it was sort of a par 3. Just dinked onto the green, bit of top spin, making sure it's not.
Yeah, you don't want it to roll. Yeah, run off into the.
I know there's a lot of keen golfers across these 2 teams. It's down the track, and almost, well, it wasn't quite a catching chance. Was right to go for it as a catching opportunity, but ended up just a couple of yards short of pulling that off Sonali Patel.
Been a tentative start this from these 2 opening batters.
It has. It has. Very encouraging early signs for Middlesex. Hawley's coming right arm around to Winfield Hill. 5-foot onside field. She's got a cramper for room here. Cannot afford much whip. She'll be all too aware of that. Down the pitch and nicely worked for 1. So Winfield Hill is 1 off 5 turns to 2 off 6. Circumspect. Having a look.
We'll have a look.
Yeah, and it is power play time elapsing. We've lost a decent chunk of it already. No boundaries. Well, that might be straight at mid-on. It is straight at mid-on. Big breakthrough for Middlesex. Saskia Hawley gets Georgie Boyce. The 2nd highest run scorer in the Blast this season is out for just 4 in the final.
Well, well, well. We were just saying it was a circumspect start, and you could feel the pressure was just building a little bit. These 2 aren't used to making a slow start like this. Georgie Boyce, it won't be 300 runs for her in the Vitality Blast this season. And Saskia Hawley, as so often she does, the captain, hands herself the ball, makes the breakthrough, and this is a dream start for Middlesex. You can see she's just there giving her team a talk, you know, not getting too ahead of themselves just yet. It's just the first wicket to go down, and there's plenty of batting still to come in this Yorkshire lineup. But it was well taken as well, just sort of outside edge, didn't quite middle it, well taken, both hands under it from Patel. It sends Georgie Boyce on the way.
Big selly from Saskia Hawley as well. She is known for that. It meant a lot to her. He knows how key it is to set the tone in a game like this against a tough opponent like this as well. They've been sort of eyeing each other up, Middlesex and Yorkshire, from other sides of the country for a lot of this season. Hawley bowls to Stair Callis, who's just guiding that away. She, of course, will be at finals day tomorrow for Bears in Tier 1-2. End of the over. Great over from Hawley. Goes for 4, picks up a wicket. 6 for 1 off 2. And what I mean by that is that, you know, with this new structure, there was a lot of unfamiliarity as to how teams might perform, what might be going on. And very quickly, Middlesex were one of the teams, quite a few people in the Yorkshire camp from looking at scorecards had an eye on, thinking, well, they look pretty strong. There's a chance we'll see them at T20 finals day. And that game at Headingley on the 2nd of August in the Metrobank One Day Cup will be a decent one. And by all accounts, Middlesex, of course, had their eyes on it, proving a point, you might say, against Glamorgan and Yorkshire. The side's heading to Tier 1 in the next couple of seasons or so. Wolf is continuing after a great first over. Winfield Hill just driving, but with a little circumspection. It's a good length from Wolf, who looks to have really found her rhythm and her flow in a way in which she never did in that first semi-final.
Yeah, again, not quite timed by Winfield Hill. She's now 2 from 7.
Down the track, Winfield Hill, this is not where she intended that. I think she's trying to flat back that through extra cover, but the spin has done the fielder and it goes for 4. Lucky boundary for Lauren Winfield Hill. Moment to forget for Kambampati, who's down there. First boundary of the innings, and it's a boundary that in a way almost sums up the energy of what we've seen in this innings so far. Even that boundary comes in fortuitous circumstances.
I think she'll just take it. And just ups her scoring rate slightly. Lauren Winfield Hill finds her first boundary of the day. Maybe just feels that a bit of luck could go her way. Just ran past it, done for spin completely.
This is going to be a single. We'll come back, and that's good running. She's a very good runner between the wickets there, Callis. One of the speediest around.
Speedy, speedy. Well, she'll be looking to try and find some runs in this final. Just the 1 to her name in the semi-final.
Move to Winfield Hill, and it's a chance in the covers. A tough chance. Hawley can't hold on. Mere millimetres off the ground. But it was a catching opportunity, no doubt.
Oh, can we just talk about how different this has been from Wolf playing in the final to the semi-final? Absolutely, she's had chances. She's been unlucky that boundaries have gone off her bowling just because of a bit of spin or slight fielding error. But she's been right on it.
Just guided to point by Winfield Hill. Callis was backing up well and is through for the single. Katie Wolf, who been in that Middlesex pathway right since 2012, made her Middlesex debut in 2017. It's a core of this Middlesex side have been together for a long time, but one thing a couple of this squad were telling me, it sounds like such a simple thing, but a real step up in professionalism this season. Players have been much more often available, and there's been a widespread sense of Middlesex wanting to prove their point with a setup where players themselves might not be getting paid, but there's certainly, in terms of facilities and coaching and environment, a little jump in things. Cut straight to backward point and out. Callis is gone. Would you believe it? Katie Wolf gets her reward. A nice sharp catch. It went hard to Riva Pindoria. Just one run across 2 innings at finals day for Stair Callis. You'd have got long odds on that. Middlesex are right up and about here. 13 for 2 or 3.
What a start for Middlesex. They lost the toss and were asked to have a bowl first, and this is really the dream start. Yorkshire, this is not what they would have expected at all, coming off the back of that convincing win in the semi-final. Won the toss, had a bat, and it looked like everything was going their way. They've already lost the opener and one of their big hitters, Stair Callis. Lauren Winfield-Hill struggling to really get going at the other end as well. And far earlier than she would have anticipated, Captain Maddie Ward comes out to the middle.
Yeah, Wolf, you would have to say, has deserved that. He's bowled 2 really good probing overs.
It's a good grab as well, this one.
And, well, I don't think you need to be a lip reader to have picked up what Stair Callis might have said as she'd hit that. It's not a word I'm going to repeat because I'd like to keep my gainful employment.
Yeah. And I don't think it was in Dutch either.
Yeah, I don't think it was. And to be fair to Callis, I mean, she hasn't. I mean, I know she's got out. She hasn't done that much wrong there. I mean, 5 yards either side, that's 4. Had she guided it just the tiniest bit further down, even if it's straight at the fielder, it's no run. It's the fielder's in the right spot and it's out. So, change of dynamic now. Izzy Routledge, Middlesex's dependable off spinner, an all-round start. He's back for more. 1 for 24 in semi-final 1. She bowled a nice classic Routledge containing spell. She's in here to Lauren Winfield-Hill, and you can blame that on the curse of the commentator. Starts with a loosener. It's a rare wide from her. She's got to bowl straight here to Winfield-Hill. Got a 5-4 onside field. Deep wicket and long on. That's a nice line.
Yeah, that's really nice. This is when you just got to keep the pressure on at the moment. Don't want to start just releasing it, giving any free runs. You're still in the power play, already got 2 wickets. We talk about the importance of 3 wickets in the power play, feeling on top.
Whipped away, put straight at square leg. Totally agree. The one thing I would also say is this Yorkshire side bat very deep. Now they've got, for one of the first times this season, everyone available. You've got Langston at 8, Thackrell at 9, Rachel Slater at 10. So they do at least have a long batting lineup. Oh, and Routledge has got Winfield-Hill. A massive scout. Lauren Winfield-Hill, Yorkshire legend, England World Cup winner, gone for just 9. What a moment for Izzy Routledge. 14 for 3. It goes from bad to worse for Yorkshire.
That is a absolute wonder ball from Izzy Routledge. You can see they're all up and about here. Just saying calm. You can just see in the background, just calm it down. Yes, excitement, but they know it's not done just yet. Yes, they've got the 3 wickets early on, but just check this one out for a delivery. It's just straightened on her, not turned at all. Top of middle, and Lauren Winfield-Hill ends up legs akimbo, front on to the ball as well. And you just know, she doesn't even have to look behind. There's the death rattle.
Well, how often do you see that as an off-spinner? Just that natural shaping into the right-hander. As one of her teammates at club cricket described her to me, said that she's unerringly accurate, a human metronome. You've got to hit her off her length. And that was a perfect example there. So, out comes Rebecca Duckworth, who is well suited to this particular role. She's an ideal player to lead a rebuild. She's a player who's probably marginally better suited to 50-over cricket, but has made some valuable contributions for Yorkshire in the Blast this season. They need her to step up and rescue things here. Both batters have not faced a ball yet. Starts by just blocking one back. Duckworth has played in every Blast game this season, and after a slow start in her last 4, she's got 21 not out, 32, 38 and 29. So she's in good form. So that's zinged in. That's another dot. I should say that, of course, doesn't include the semi-final, where it wasn't needed to bat. Flicked away by Duckworth. End of the over. What an over from Routledge. It starts with a wide. And if you took that out, which I know you can't, because that's not how cricket scoring works before people write in, it would be a wicket maiden.
Yeah, great stuff. What a start this has been for Middlesex. You would not have expected this one coming into this final.
Yorkshire the favourites, but there was always a sense that Middlesex were going to be a big test for them. And I think if you're a neutral, you sat there with the popcorn right now thinking we've got a game right on our hands. Wolf is continuing, as she should, having bowled 2 overs that brilliantly. She would have been racing to the top of her mark to keep going. 1 for 9 off 2. A respectful block from Ward, who, it must be said, is naturally aggressive, but has the ability, when the situation demands, to play in a different way.
Which is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a 50-over game earlier on this season where she came out in a batting collapse and got a very steady 40 off 74 against Leicestershire. Just pushed into the covers. Great fielding by Hawley. Desperation to stop the ball.
Yeah, it's when you're in this kind of mode, you know, you can just leap that extra inch further in the field. Saskia Hawley there, just diving beyond what I thought was her reach, just managing to stretch because you were on top.
This time Ward has managed to get it out to the extra cover sweeper for 1. Yeah, no, it's Fraser mentioned earlier on in the day, Middlesex using the field, hype, hostility, intensity, press and energy. What's the word? Artistic license on the spelling of hype, as Sproul is going to stand up to the stumps. Try and trap Duckworth in her crease. Duckworth nervously prodding at that. That's it. Another dot for Wolf, who's bowled superbly.
I'm trying really hard to avoid using any Wolf cliches or puns.
Eating them up.
Yeah, something about she looks so innocent, a wolf in sheep's clothing, that kind of vibe.
Oh, nicely bowled again by Wolf. My goodness me. Well, Yorkshire talked about wanting pressure, wanting to be tested. They're getting all of that and more here. Certainly had moments where Glamorgan pushed them close. At one point went 39 balls without a boundary in their run chase, but eventually got home with relative comfort. 15 balls to spare. Just dabbed away to point by Duckworth. Another over goes by though. Yorkshire got to be careful of not sort of almost, you know, trying to just kind of stop losing wickets for a while, but you blink and the power play is going by rapidly. 15 for 3 after 5 then.
Yeah, you can't just batten down the hatches at this point because you're not going anywhere at any pace. They're sort of, it's like you're paddling, but you haven't got the orbit on the end of your paddle, so you're just about still moving using just the pole, but you need the extra scoop at the end.
Or to use another analogy, as someone who is desperately struggled with open water swimming in the recent past, sort of swimming against the current. You might be swimming, but the current means you're not really moving. Routledge is back for more.
1 for 1 figures so far. Bit of flight. Again, will just be 1 more to the total. Maddie Ward picks up her second run. This time slightly fuller and just played respectfully back up towards Routledge by Duckworth, who's yet to get off the mark. She's now faced 7 deliveries and hasn't found a run just yet. And this time pushes it away, and one more to the total. So Duckworth finally off the mark. You can't be dealing in singles, but at the same time, can't afford to just get bogged down or lose any more wickets. There's a lot of thinking. This one pulled away, and finally Maddie Ward finds the boundary, and it just bisects the two dugouts. 6 now from the over. Just straying down the leg side there as our camerawoman tries to send the ball back and takes 2 goes.
That is just the second boundary in 34 balls in the power play. That's pretty remarkable stuff.
Bit of extra flight and Fuller again from Routledge, and they scamper through. They're sort of having to bleed out every single possible at this point.
Yeah, and a sort of tight single like that reflects the position Middlesex have put themselves in, that these 2 Yorkshire batters feel like they've got to take that extra level of risk.
Finds the top edge. Again, lands just safe of backward point. Brings the over to a close, so 7 runs coming from it. That's the end of the power play as well. The power play definitely 100% belongs to Middlesex. 6 overs gone. Yorkshire winning the toss, deciding to have a bat. 22 for 3. Both openers and their number 3 all back in the dugout and can only watch for the remainder of the innings.
Yeah, it belongs to Middlesex every day of the week, and it's set up a very intriguing contest here. Stair Callis caught Pindoria bowled ball for a 2-ball duck after Boyce was caught Patel bowled Hawley for 4 off 5, and Lauren Winfield Hill bowled by Routledge for 9 off 14. Hannah Davis, who bowled so well in that semi-final, 3 for 17, is on. So they've taken Wolf off. I'm part of me surprised. It is out the power play though, I guess.
Again, just straying on that leg side. Manages to get something on it, Maddie Ward. Bit of pad. Davis just wiping her hand. A bit of extra flight again, just past cover, so 1 more to the total. Really moon ball there from Davis. Pushing the fielder out to deep cover. 3rd comes around slightly finer. Well, even more flight on this one from Davis, and again just squirted out for 1. Tidy start this from Davis. Maddie Ward, the captain. Again, can't get it away. Now, this has just been quite some start from Middlesex. You wouldn't have expected this when Yorkshire won the toss and decided to have a bat first. They would have expected to start racing in the power play. It's what they would have hoped for. They've got the big hitters up the top. And the captain goes aerial this time. And fielder coming in off the boundary at deep mid-wicket for a moment. Thought she was in the game. And in the end, it comes off the shins, I think. But just a little bit of extra intent there from Maddie Ward. Sort of understanding the situation. Again, can't get it through.
Well, particularly with the scoreboard as it is, you want your fielder to be going for the catch there. 100%. So it's right to have a go at it. 25 for 3 then, after 7. So Yorkshire find themselves in all sorts of a Branston pickle. Middlesex, who have 12 wins from 14 games this season across all competitions, let's not forget, and 8 wins from 9 in the Blast, have put themselves in a great place to pull off an upset in this final. Yorkshire going at just 3.5 and over. Here comes another key moment. Chana Kambampati into the attack for a left arm spin.
Played respectfully by Maddie Ward, just off the back foot.
Liv, can you just check the commentary audio, just for clarity? We're hearing
Showing a swap round of fielders here. Saskia Hawley pushes herself up to mid-off.
You might need to listen to a programme out.
Moves very early, and this one has gone fine enough, just past the keeper. Don't think it's got enough on it. No, it hasn't. Maddie Ward bags another couple.
Just have a listen and see if you can hear like a little, like a crunching noise, like a digital crunching noise, like.
Well, you know that you'll get this with Maddie Ward. Those little fine scoop, sweep, reverse shots. She's such an intriguing player to watch against both spin and seam.
Thanks.
Yeah, just diving over that one. One more to the total. Now Yorkshire is still just hanging around here. They need to start pushing up into another gear because at this point they're going absolutely nowhere. Yes, they haven't lost any more wickets, but they've barely picked up any more runs. 28 for 3 after 7.5 overs. Again, can only pick out the fielder.
Well, you say Yorkshire, and you're obviously spot on, but more specifically it's Duckworth. Duckworth's 2 off 12. Ward's ticking along okay, 12 off 13, but the pressure is very specifically on Rebecca Duckworth. Something's going to happen there.
Scampers through for another. You had me confused there, Michael. You said Yorkshire, and I was like, have I said the wrong team? Who's playing? What is that I've start questioning everything?
I think at this stage of finals day, if we're on the right teams and players.
I think at this stage, if I'd called Yorkshire the wrong thing, then I should just see myself out.
Disagree. Wouldn't be having that. It's a joy to have you.
As long as you don't call them Lancashire, then I really would have to. Maddie Ward again goes for the innovation, and she's going to find 4 here. Finally breaks the shackles. Just works Kambampati round the corner. 4 off the final ball of the over. So it means that 8 actually have come from that one. Just starting to accelerate, the captain needed to. 8 overs gone, 33 for 3.
That is 9 off the over. Not sure quite. Was that a Middlesex or Yorkshire accent there?
It was Irish.
No, I'm messing.
Irish.
I'm messing. I was actually thinking, because we had a reference, you referring to Ireland in the first innings, whether we've had any Irish players at this finals day, but we don't.
We don't. We've seen Orla Prendergast over with the Blaze, obviously.
Yep.
Throughout the times, but that's in League One.
33 for 3. That was the best over the innings so far for Yorkshire, and it went for 8. So
huge.
That kind of, it's gone 2, 4 wicket, 7 wicket, 1 wicket, 7, 3, and now 8. And Duckworth is Duckworth's in. 3 off 13. Wolf is back. Now I like that. This is an attacking move. This is an aggressive move to take wickets. I just wonder, when Duckworth's 3 off 13, is Hawley just tempted to actually bring a couple more in here? It's something you very rarely see, and they haven't done it. There's still 4 sweepers out.
Here comes Wolf. She's had a feel for that. Absolutely no foot movement whatsoever from Duckworth.
And look, it's worth saying, we're up in the commentary box. We're well fed, we're well watered, we're well grazed and looked after, and it looks so easy from up here, and it's not. But also Rebecca Duckworth herself will know that she's under the pump here.
She does find the gap here, but there's protection out in the deep, so she'll pick up at least 1. Coming back for a second, almost a collision in the middle.
Yeah, there was always 2 there, because the fielder's got to go 10 yards round to her left, and it's a long throw from out there. But again, it reflects the situation that Duckworth and Ward hesitated a bit over coming back.
Again, there's protection down there, so one more to the total brings Ward back on strike, and you won't mind this actually if you're a Yorkshire fan, because she's the one who's doing, well, definitely the heavy lifting in this partnership.
Yeah, it should be said, Duckworth, in her last few innings, I mentioned she made scores of significance where she had started a little on the slower side and caught up to being around, if not above, a run a ball in games that were relatively low scoring. But the pressure is on, no doubt, and Wolf's bowling beautifully.
Yeah, full and straight, can't get it through.
The thing is, as well, is if Yorkshire win a better team position, Duckworth could take that mentality of I'm going to go and try and hit this. But there's an element of certainly valuing her wicket. Yorkshire might bat deep, but they are 3 down early doors.
Again, will be just one more to the total. I think as the most expensive over so far has been 8. It sort of tells the whole story, really. That seemed like a massive over.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen 3 boundaries in almost 9 overs of cricket. That's pretty extraordinary when you think of the power in this Yorkshire top order.
Has a feel for this one, and there's a half stop that keeps it to 1. That means that Duckworth will retain strike for the beginning of the next over. Just the 5 coming from the 9th, 9 gone. Yorkshire 38 for 3.
What a spell from Katie Wolf. In semi-final 1, you've gone for 21 off 2, and you've struggled to find your best. You've had 4 or 5 hours to wait at the ground for the final, and you've come out and ended up with 4 overs, 1 for 15, and you can actually argue she was unlucky to not get even better figures and got rid of the big scalp of Stair Callis for a duck. So superb efforts from Katie Wolf. There's going to be a lot of very proud people watching our live stream from Ickenham Cricket Club, where she came through the ranks once upon a time. It's now going to be Davis back for more.
Yeah, second over for Davis. Went for just 3 runs from her first. Bit of extra flight again. And Duckworth trying to change things up, just shuffling down the pitch, trying to get to the pitch of the ball this time. And still unable to time it. And they'll scamper through. She adds 1 more to the total.
Yeah, she's been working a lot on her more attacking part of her game, using her feet to spin, Rebecca Duckworth. She's always been, particularly in the 50 over side of things, a very good sort of traditional batter. Joined the Diamonds from Thunder back in 2023 and has stayed on the White Rose side of the Pennines ever since, signing a maiden professional contract with Yorkshire in the winter just gone.
Davis again, building the dots. A large open space that's hit into, but still fielder out on the boundary means it's still just 1. That run rate, 4.07 in a final. The T20 Blast. Yorkshire side who rocketed into the final in the end. Full toss, and it's smacked back just past Davis, and finally they find the boundary off Davis's bowling. That was there to be eaten up, and Maddie Ward says, yes please, I'll have some of that with mayo on it.
Yeah, it's Rebecca Duckworth's first boundary. Scoreboard is just got the strike all the way around at the moment, so Duckworth will feel so much better for that. Comes down the track, turns it into a full toss. It definitely was not one until Duckworth's fine footwork. Oh my goodness, he's short and he's run out. Duckworth had set off. Fantastic fielding. 43 for 4. Riva Pindoria, who produced the magic bit of fielding last weekend that won Middlesex the game on the final ball against Gloucestershire, has done it again. This is absolutely brilliant, creating something out of nothing. And Yorkshire are in all sorts of bother. Another one goes, 43 for 4, and Duckworth's struggling vigil is over.
Yeah, had finally found a boundary. Looked like she was just loosened the shackles. Well, this was what you would call a brain fade. Just set off. Maddie Ward tries to send her back. The rocket arm came in. No mistake behind the stumps as well. 4 down now. And, well, that's just what happens when you're in... Your brain gets in a bit of a spaghetti situation, all scrambled. We've scrambled eggs and now we're in a tangle.
Yeah, please bear with us on the live stream for a moment. The scorers are just unpicking that there because the boundary was briefly credited to Ward rather than Duckworth. This is the dismissal. It's in front of square, so it is Duckworth's call. Now, we can't hear out there and we don't have the benefit of a stump microphone, just what was or was not said between Duckworth or Ward. Whether Duckworth said yes and Ward didn't come, or Duckworth simply ran but did not call. You can often find those ones just in front or just behind point are awkward ones for two batters to negotiate, particularly when their side is under pressure, as Yorkshire were. What we know for certain is Duckworth is gone for 12 off 22, and at the midway point of things, Yorkshire need a heroine, and so often this season that has come in the form of Amy Campbell.
Yeah, well, those two came together when the score was 14 for 3 after 3.5 overs. So they've seen them through 6.5 overs, getting to 44 for 4. And Amy Campbell, she finished that semi-final with such a flourish. Has now got a very different job to do.
Davis on, and Davis has got her. It's another wicket. 2 in as many balls. It's a golden duck for Amy Campbell. This is absolutely remarkable. Middlesex are running through this Yorkshire batting lineup, and it is a golden quacker for one of the most destructive batters in this competition. Massive breakthrough by Hannah Davis, 44 for 5.
You just could not have written this. She just pushed at it and heard the death rattle top her off. And Amy Campbell comes and Amy Campbell goes. Saskia Hawley there still telling her team, you know, we can't celebrate anything just yet. We've got to stay disciplined. Maddie Ward, the captain, is just watching wickets tumble around her now. She's 18 from 17, doing her level best to hold things together.
Yeah, one thing that I mentioned, it's a top spinner. Campbell's played for a bit of turn. That's a very good ball to get first up. It's an absolute peach of a delivery from Davis. Now, I mentioned how Yorkshire have got this deep lower middle order. It's going to be really tested here. Olivia Thomas, who's played a few valuable innings coming out in some tricky situations, none you would say are quite as tricky as this, is going to have to do it again. Scoreboard still catching up. It's 44 for 5. Hawley is cut away.
I don't mind this from Hawley, bringing herself back on at this stage, actually.
Please just bear with us as the scoreboard is corrected. It was 45 for 5 at the end of that over, the 10th over. The run out came from the final ball. Hawley is back on. Her first over conceded 4 and picked up a big wicket. Early doors. Thomas is just prodding at that one. Hawley got Boyce out. Caught by Patel, what feels like a very long time ago. Thomas and Ward trying to lead the rescue act. Thomas still yet to get off the mark though. Scoreboard's just caught up now, so that is all correct for you. Thomas and Ward out there facing Hawley, who will have to re-bowl that. Thomas just nurdling, goes to set off for a run. It's definitely Ward's call down there, and Ward sends her back. Hawley running near enough through the over. It's something she's known for doing really well. Blink and you miss it. Again, Thomas is blocking. 4 dots in a row here.
She does run back to her mark, doesn't she?
Yep. Oh yeah, she's great for the over rate. And that's left alone. End of the over. The over concedes just 2. So Hawley has 1 for 6 from her 2. Big task for Yorkshire to try and haul this one around. Intriguingly, these sides meet again on the 2nd of August in the Metrobank One Day Cup League 2. If you're not following that competition, definitely should be. Well worth keeping your eyes across. Middlesex are top. They've got 4 wins from 4, 19 points. Yorkshire is second with 3 wins from 4. Above Glamorgan, who of course were beaten by Yorkshire in the semi-final on net run rate. Glamorgan are third with 3 wins from 4. Plenty of rounds left of that comp, building towards finals down the 21st of September. So Routledge is back for more. He's driven down the ground for 1 by Ward, who, as we've already alluded to, is actually going along quite well amid the complete carnage at the other end. She has 20 off 19. But while she's been there, she has seen 3 different partners come and go. Just push straight to extra cover. Thomas still yet to get off the mark from 6 balls faced. Goes to sweep, sweeps hard, sweeps well, and sweeps behind square for 4. Olivia Thomas off the mark in start. Rare poor ball from Routledge, and it gets punished. Yorkshire belatedly past the 50 mark, but you'd have got long odds at the start of this game of that taking them 11.5 overs and at the loss of 5 wickets.
Yeah, it was the 3 wickets that fell in the power play that really put the wobbles on early. This one darted in by Routledge this time. Does the fielding off her own bowling. You can just sense that energy in this Middlesex fielding. They're so on top at the moment. It's just giving them that little bit of oomph. And it will be another dot. It's over, just gone for 5. And Thomas now 4 from 9.
Routledge, much like Hawley, almost running through the over, but won't quite be out of it yet. It's right on the blue line. 6 off it with 1 ball left. This is turned away, but won't get anything for that. So 12 overs gone. 52 for 5. Yorkshire on the scramble. 1 for 14 off 3 for Routledge. You sense that Ward is key here. Thackrell is a more than capable late pinch hitter, and Langston and Slater are 2 players who, again, in the top tier of women's regional cricket, have made valuable contributions with the bat previously, but Yorkshire are going to need something from here. 10 and over, which feels incredibly optimistic, would get them to 132.
Well, seeing as the most expensive over we've seen so far has been 8.
Fair, yeah. Just I'm giving you the spectrum. I was going to say a runner ball gets you to 100. 8 and over gets you to 126. That's a new over, starts with a dot. I think if you offered Yorkshire 126, they would say deal every single day of the week at the moment, as Davis is on again.
Well, I mean, at the moment, finding the triple figures is going to be quite an ask.
Yeah, does look a long way. Ward with one of her clever improvised sweeps. It's not going to go because this outfield is very slow now after all of the rain. And Olivia Thomas wants 3. Wasn't 3 there. Clever work from Hawley. Hawley went, just provided the relay throw option, and that ensured that 3 was not a possibility. What a spell this has been from Hannah Davis, product of the Buckinghamshire pathway. Came through at Tring Park and once upon a time with the Sunrisers Academy, and spent last season with Essex Joined Middlesex this season after impressing in open trials. She's impressing today. Ball turns this away for one more. Played very well against Middlesex in the past, and then reportedly in the open trials got quite a number of the expected season's top 6 out multiple times, which was a pretty good way of saying, yeah, we should probably sign her.
That's one way to go to trials.
Thomas just blocks that back. Thomas on 4 off 11.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You can see why. 3 for 17 in game 1, and she's bowling superbly here in the final. Thomas straight to backward point.
Yeah, this is proving really problematic now for Thomas. She's 4 from 12, so striking at 33.
That's straight at cover. So end of the over. So all the 5s, 55 for 5. Just 3 off that over. And the other concerning thing for Yorkshire with that Thomas innings, you may remember she hit that one boundary off Routledge. So the dot ball percentage is through the roof. Through the roof.
Through the woof.
Through the woof, sorry. Turn into a dog for a second. 12. She's 12 of the 13 balls that she's faced have been dot balls. So the dot ball percentage is 92% at the moment for Liv Thomas, which is a big concern because Ward's set, but she needs the strike at least. Kamban Patty back from our end, pavilion end, as that's turned away by Ward for another single, which now means that Thomas is facing, and Thomas has got to find her way out of this tricky situation. And Middlesex are racing through the overs, which is exactly what they should be doing. Down the ground for 1, no real chance of 2 there, but that's better from Thomas. That's at least what Yorkshire need. Got to be scoring from vast majority of the deliveries they're facing now. All chipped up, got herself in such an awkward position there, Ward. Ends with another single. It's really difficult for this pair to judge. At what point do they try and accelerate? Just wonder, there's also the possibility this pitch is playing a little worse, having got worn through the day. Maybe a touch slower. Maybe a bit trickier for batting. So that's back to Kamban Patty, and that is out. Well, there's a real delayed celebration because even Kamban Patty herself didn't seem certain, and then goes flying off for one of her trademark energetic celebrations that she's known for. The queen of the celly for Middlesex is at it again, but she had to, in something you will not see every day, turn around and look at the umpire to check that a court and bowl was out. There was a moment where most people in the ground, including yours truly in the commentary box, was pretty sure this was a bump ball. But no, the replay confirmed. Struck on the half volley, straight back to Rachana Kamban Patty. And just watch it. She waits for that moment from umpire Julia Jarvis, then off she goes.
See, that was reminiscent of when you really pleaded at your mum, can I have an ice cream? And then finally she gives in, says yes, and you go off and give it the big ones.
Well, I was promised this weekend, and I'd seen it a couple of times in person, that you get some big sellies from Rachana Kamban Patty. I didn't expect to see one where she had to wait that long to start it from a court and bowled. But you never know what this great game is going to give you next.
Well, Maddie Ward is still out there in the middle watching wickets tumble. The captain must just be thinking, can I just get back on strike, please? I'm going along all right, 25 from 24. Now Beth Langston has had to stroll out to the middle, and they're only in the 14th over here. 58 for 6, Yorkshire.
Beth Langston
has just a push at this one.
Has faced, just before that delivery, 3 balls in competitive cricket this season for Yorkshire. So this is tough for her. I mean, she's experienced. She's a very good all-rounder. That's flicked away. Nice shot for one. She won't be fazed by this situation, apart from one game against Warwickshire, or the Bears, in the County Cup quarter-final, where she came in and made 28 of 22, but she's played a lot of cricket this season. She had a spell out injured where she's been in that lower order. Yorkshire have been winning games comfortably, and she's not really been needed. Now suddenly she is needed, and it is a crisis.
Yeah,
59 for 6 off 14.
6 overs still to come here, and that is a sorry tale. That Yorkshire batting card, just 2 batters into the double figures. One of them still out there, Maddie Ward, the captain, on 25, but other than that, reads almost like a phone number.
Absolutely. Remember that for Hawley continues. Well, Hawley comes back, I should say. 1 for 6 off 2. Starts her third over. One of her favourite spots, just inside that wide line on the offside. Very awkward place. Langston can't put a bat on it. If Yorkshire could somehow manage 7.5 and over, it gets them to 100, but that feels a long way off here. That's going to be 1. And for all Yorkshire came into this finals day favourites, worth reiterating, they've by no means been invincible this season. 12 wins from 14 before today. Steps across and almost got herself in the right old tangle ward, and now the throw to the bowler's end, and if Hawley picks that up cleanly, it's run out, and she doesn't.
That's perhaps the only mistake Middlesex have made so far in this final. It's Saskia Hawley. She would have expected herself to take that cleanly. There was confusion. The run, well, in the end, came through okay, but the throw came in. It wasn't a bad throw. It was just Hawley trying to sort of take the bails off before she'd even collected the ball.
Missed run up by Hawley to Ward on 26. That's nibbled away. Yet another dot ball. Though it's one thing the analysts keep a real track of dot ball percentage. That's going to be very high in this innings. We've seen 5 boundaries in almost 15 overs. Plenty of flight. Nice looking shot from Langston. Picks up 1. The only other error I can think of from Middlesex was when Winfield Hill was dropped on 8 by Hawley off Wolf. That was an extremely tough catch. Down the track Ward, Hawley responds well to the charge. Really good battle on here, but it's a battle right now that Middlesex are dominating. Maddie Ward is almost a lone fighter at times here for Yorkshire. 62 for 6 off 15. We have still not had an over in the innings that has seen more than 8 runs scored off it.
Yeah, wickets shared around for the Middlesex bowlers, as well as the run out in there. Used 5 bowlers so far, so 5 overs still to come. Maddie Ward out there in the middle, trying to see her team to something respectable that they might be able to defend. I mean, trying to eye up 3 figures at least at the moment. 62 for 6, 5 overs still to come. Also, they've been very tidy. Only the 3 extras bowled by Middlesex's bowlers too. And Davis is going to complete her set here. She's gone for just 12 runs and picked up the wicket from her 3. Extra flight again, and just can't time it.
Well, it will be that quad spin attack to see Middlesex home here.
And it should just be 1 here, yeah. Fielder comes in off the boundary at long on.
Middlesex with just 2 losses this season. Lost by 30 runs against Glamorgan at Colwyn Bay in mid-June. And they fell well short, chasing 172 to win. That's their only T20 Blast defeat.
Yeah, Maddie Ward doing what she does, goes for something innovative. Is it going to just have enough? Yes, it is. The captain finds the boundary. She moves on to 30. She scored nearly half of Yorkshire's runs.
Yeah, she's hit 3 of the meagre 6 boundaries that Yorkshire have managed. But that's a classic Ward shot, just using the pace. A rare chance for those Yorkshire supporters to make their voices heard.
Moves across early, gets the sweep out, and it's going to be back-to-back boundaries for Maddie Ward.
Yeah, this is clever. She's so good at pre-delivery movement that puts bowlers off, and it causes Davis to bowl the type of delivery that Ward wants to see there. So now suddenly, in this mini moment of the over, it's Davis under a lot of pressure.
Flighted, full toss. Can't do anything with it. It's a good response, that. It's a brave response from Davis.
Yeah, she might feel like she's got away with it a bit.
Again, moves across early, Maddie Ward, and doesn't time it this time. They'll think about a second. They're going to come back and take on the arm of Hawley, and that's good running. So in the end, the most expensive over we have seen thus far. 11 runs coming from it. The first over to go for double figures. 16 gone, 73 for 6.
Yeah, it's the end of Davis's spell, and despite that expensive over, she finishes with figures of 1 for 19 off her 4. Not quite Wolves 1 for 15, but still very impressive. And Yorkshire have got 4 overs to try and rescue themselves. 4 big overs. They could be looking at 110. If they can get 4 more overs in the region of what they've just managed. Middlesex, I mentioned, they only lost twice. Their only other defeat was in round 1 of the County Cup against Kent. What Finty Trustler called a dark day. They really felt like they missed out on a draw that they felt had opened up nicely for them and could have resulted in a round 3 game against Tier 1 Blaze. But as you've seen, Middlesex have learnt those T20 lessons handsomely since then.
Here comes Kambampati, straying down the leg side, but I think a little bit of pad or something on it, so she gets away with 1. And that just brings the field around to plug that gap behind square on the onside. It is just turned into that onside, into a bit of space, but they don't come back for a second, and wisely so. Never on there.
Yeah, never on. And at this stage, Ward is in and set, and I'll just want Ward to face as many deliveries as she can out of these 22 remaining.
She goes aerial into the onside this time and picks up another 4. Maddie Ward is trying to do this single-handedly at the moment. The young captain leading from the front.
Yeah, she's picked the gap between those 2 sweepers. Lovely panache and bit of whippage on the wrist. Just watch the bottom hand here, how it comes through. You don't get any more runs for style, but if you did, then you'd definitely pick up a few extra there, Ward. She's individually in great nick. It's just everyone else that's been the problem for Yorkshire.
Sticks out 1 hand and just managed to get something on it to stop the boundary. Trying to come back, chance of a run out. And just little lack of awareness out in the deep there. Slow on the throw.
Great credit to Wolf with the initial stop, because that's turned 4 into 1. And it also crucially means Ward has lost the strike.
Comes down the pitch at this one, goes aerial, fielder coming in, takes the catch, and Kambampati has her second. Langston holds out in the deep. 7 down now for Yorkshire, and they are in danger of not making it through their 20 overs. Maddie Wood at the non-strikers watches yet another of her compadres head off back to the dugout.
It's about as regulation a catch as you could want at long on. Had to make a little bit of ground, but it sat at a comfortable height. And Ratchana Kambampati can bring out another Selly. Was early on it, Langston, and scooping it up. And that just wasn't going to be dropped. So that batting depth, that long batting lineup I mentioned, is really being tested. Out comes Ria Fackrell. It's very rare you'd have seen her in the regional cricket era with Sparks, or indeed with Yorkshire this season, down as low as 9. But Yorkshire, with everyone available, pushed her down there. But she's going to have 15 minutes or so here to make an impact.
She's got just one to face in this Kambampati over, who still has another over up her sleeve after this one. Works this round the corner. The fielder is positioned there, gets a sort of half stop, scampering back for a second, slow on the turn. That's just safe. So 17 overs now come to a close. 81 for 7. Maddie Ward, she's still out there, 37 from 32. Maria Fackrell's just come out to join her.
Yeah, my red pen, my sort of commentator scoring system has been in use a lot, and I must say I was briefly reaching for it there. 81 for 7. Ward is on strike. It's a tiny consolation for Yorkshire.
I feel like I'm sitting next to my physics teacher with you and all these pens.
Just doing my best to keep track of the chaos.
Well, it's just because my physics homework usually had a lot of red pen on it.
Sounds like my chemistry homework. Probably explains how we ended up being cricket
Yeah,
commentators.
well.
We probably found a job that suited our abilities. It's Routledge.
Yeah, I haven't had to use a Van de Graaff generator yet in my commentary career. That will just be 1 to the total. So about every action has an equal and opposite reaction. You start bringing those in. And that's exactly what Middlesex won't want.
Something about pressure
No,
equals
that's
force
what
over area.
That's what
and the
Middlesex
pressure is
won't
on.
want. They won't want their actions to have an equal and opposite reaction from Yorkshire with the ball.
See what you did there.
Thank you. I was just trying to get it out, and you were trying to talk over me, and I was like, no, I'm having this one. I'll scamper through for one, just stopped there by Saskia Hawley.
I had my pressure equals force over area ready.
No.
Which was the only one that could come to mind. There's definitely a lot of pressure on Yorkshire here.
Goes aerial again. That's going to land safe. Fielder coming round off the boundary. Goalie there cuts it off for 1.
And that reminds me, I wanted to make a point about Riva Pindoria. She took a really good confident catch in that previous over. She got a brilliant run out with Duckworth, where Duckworth, you know, that throw had to be perfect to run her out by that yard. A great example of the value you can add as a team, even when you're not getting a chance to bat or bowl. There's a great lesson in that for the youngsters.
This one's slightly quicker from Routledge.
It's interesting. It's something her teammates talked to me about in the build-up to this one. Didn't bat or bowl in that first game, what with Middlesex winning by 10 wickets, but switched on and ready to make a big difference when the moments presented themselves to Riva Pindoria.
Shuffles down the pitch at this one, keeps it along the carpet. So again, just 1, brings Ward back on strike for the final delivery of this over. She's 39 from 34. So that 3 figures looks within reach, you would hope, if you're a Yorkshire fan or a Yorkshire player. If Maddie Ward especially can stay out there. Again, goes for the reverse, and she's been bowled. Well, 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 this is really now proper trouble stations for Yorkshire. Routledge gets her second. Maddie Ward going for her, well, it's her style, isn't it? Using a bit of innovation, trying to go for the reverse, and she's frustrated. She has, well, led this resilience, the only resilience, really, the resistance for Yorkshire, and just round her legs. And off she goes.
Well, she scored 47% of the team's runs. So, amidst chaos and carnage, she can, while she won't feel it right now, take an element of pride in how she's played. But just as Yorkshire, as we were discussing, was so reliant on her to try and push things on, she has to go. It completes a fantastic 4 overs for Izzy Routledge. 2 for 18 from her 4 overs to go with 1 for 24 in The first semi-final. What a day she's had with the ball. Never mind the 45 unbeaten with the bat, and she'll come out to bat and lead the run chase.
Well, they are in danger now of not seeing out their 20 overs. Yorkshire, 2 overs still to come, and only 2 wickets in hand, 85 on the board. Saskia Hawley, the captain, going to bowl herself out here, the 19th over. Moves across early, goes aerial. And that's well cut off. Really good bit of work out in the deep. And they'll pick up a couple. Beautiful evening sunshine now here at the county ground.
Very capable death hitter when she gets it right, Thackrell. Cracked a crucial 19 not out of 10 against Derbyshire that was match winning.
Well, tries to launch this one into tomorrow, and it's a all swing no ding. She rehearses that shot, spins a bat around.
No runs for bat speed.
No, but sometimes I'm convinced you can hear the whoosh of the bat.
You definitely can. Speaking from experience.
This time moves across early, and Hawley follows her nicely.
Still 2 very experienced players, and 2 players that in other batting lineups definitely wouldn't be near 9 and 10.
Oh, that's gone through the legs of the keeper somehow. Bottom edge, but runs is runs, and they will take them however they come at the moment, Yorkshire. And that's 2 more of them.
Yeah, luckless for Hawley, that. Definitely can't set a field for that. It's a scramble to 100 now for Yorkshire, really.
It is. Well, they've got 8 balls in which to find 11 runs if they're to do that. Again, not quite timed along the carpet. 1 more to the total.
I won't surprise you to know this is on course to be Yorkshire's worst batting performance of the season, but they have had moments where they've faltered somewhat with the bat. Hasn't always been plain sailing despite 9 from 9.
And sadly, those weren't finals day, though. And again, that will just be 1 more to the total. So Hawley has finished her allocation for the day. 6 runs coming from that over. She finishes with 1 for 15. So 1 over still to come. Yorkshire 91 for 8.
They've had some games where they've batted first and haven't batted that well. The difference is they still scored at least 15 or 20 more than they're going to end up with here. And it's safe to say, just based on blunt statistics, they were facing an opposition who were a weaker batting lineup when they came to defend that total. And they managed to bowl and field well enough to slightly get themselves out of jail a bit. But Yorkshire are going to have to do that on a whole different scale here. Rachel Slater facing up. I know Richard Pyre has said he sees her in the long term as someone capable of playing in the middle order. She's worked really hard on her batting over the winter. Hasn't got long, the Scot, to make an impact here.
Moves across early, up, inside out. It's going to plug. There's 3 fielders giving pursuit, and as we saw earlier, the outfielder has got slow with the bits of rain around today.
Really good hard running to get 3 there. Yorkshire 6 short of the 100. It's amazing how much emphasis psychologically teams place on a milestone like that.
It's going to fall just short of Hawley.
Yeah, Hawley actually did well. Those can be really awkward, those sort of low skidders. 5 to get for Yorkshire off 4 for that 100 mark.
So 4 balls still to come in this innings. Along the carpet, straight to Hawley, and they've set off. It's sort of tip and run at this point. She doesn't even bother to send the throw in.
I think Middlesex would be more than content with 3 singles here and around pound 100 to win.
False start from Kambampati. Now Fackrell off for a wonder.
You stop, then I stop, then
Yeah.
you stop, then I stop.
Charges down the pitch at this one, but there is a fielder out there. Oh, no. There was almost a mix-up again. Thinking about coming back for the second. Not a chance that was on for 2.
Yeah, Slater was interested in turning and going. Fackrell was quite right to say no, absolutely not. It was at best 1 1/4 there.
2 to come. Again, charges at this one, and this could well be 4. It is, and it means that Yorkshire do make it into the triple figures. The score moves on to 101 for 8, with 1 ball still to come.
Well, I mentioned the ability Rachel Slater's got with the bat. You saw it there, inside out. That's all class. It's not the shot of the play you normally see down at number 10. Lovely footwork. And it's a tiny psychological milestone for Yorkshire, who have scrapped their way up to this from 45 for 5 at halfway.
1 ball still to come, 101 for 8. Big swing this time, just see what you can do. Boulder! Well, what a final delivery from Kambampati. She finishes with 3 wickets. And, well, it was a sort of shuffle across, shuffle back again. Kambampati full straight on the stumps. 3 for 30 she finishes from her 4 overs. So Yorkshire, they finish their 20 overs, 101 for 6, which means that Middlesex, they need 102 runs to win here and take the title. Yorkshire won the toss, decided to have a bat first, and it has been, well, at times a horror show for the team in blue. The White Rose with the bat in hand, but they've made it to triple figures, and that's a sort of mental aspect of it, I guess, if you want to take something from it. But you would feel that this is really Middlesex's to take for the win now.
Well, you felt like if you wanted a ball that provided a perfect dotting of the I, crossing of the T, of summing up the innings in 1 ball, it was that final delivery from Rachana Kambampati. Going straight through, she finishes with 3 for 30 off her 4. The match summary is one that will delight supporters of our live stream who are from Middlesex, because they have control of this final, and regardless of the pitch looking a little trickier to bat on, the outfield looking trickier, there is absolutely no doubt this is a below par score. We'll be back for the run chase in around 10 minutes or so's time. 102 to win.
The spirit of cricket is a really precious thing.
The spirit of cricket. Does the spirit of cricket exist?
It's about the spirit of the game.
The spirit of cricket is a bit cliche, but actually it's important to what makes the game.
What is it? This game we call cricket. Some say it's just that. A game. A way to pass the time. Made up of overs and innings, wickets and runs that can last 5 days. Or a mere afternoon. But it's more than that, isn't it? It's more than the stumps and the wickets, the bat and the ball. More than winning and losing. What makes cricket cricket is us, the people. The people that play, volunteer, organise, spectate and facilitate. From the leaders on the field to those behind the scenes. Cricket is what we make it, through the values we share. It's a game run on respect, built on fairness and decency, where we embrace enjoyment, build belonging and progress with purpose, so that to anyone watching, they see a game for me. These are the values that make this game great, and they've always been there. But it's up to us now to carry them forward, with every ball, every stroke, every session of play, so that together we can help shape this beautiful game. This game that we love, this game we call cricket.
We're here today to launch the ICC Women's T20 World Cup 2026, which we are hosting here in England and Wales across 7 iconic venues next summer.
To have a home World Cup, to have watched it in the crowd and to have some a competition like that to look forward to next year is really, really special.
I want to support women's cricket in as many ways as I can, and I think we all need to find ways to support them, attend the games and root for our favourite teams and all the players.
I feel like I've played World Cups all around the world now, and it's going to be so exciting to play at home, play at Old Trafford. I think it's really exciting.
The energy today at this event was amazing. Sitting next to Malala, sitting across from Ellie. Energizing, empowering, and I think it was kind of a call of duty.
I think today's really important because you've brought a whole bunch of people with different perspectives into one room. It's very rare that you get everybody to clear their diaries to do that, and it just goes to show how important it is as well.
It'll pass quicker than you can ever imagine. Even the build-up to it, I think the build-up is almost just as special as the tournament itself.
You can kind of feel like something is changing.
You immediately feel like you're part of it and you're part of a movement.
What it means for us to host a World Cup, and I look back as a huge sports fan and think of the Euros for the women and what that did for women's sport, for football. We've now got a chance to go beyond what football did, and for it to become that seminal moment for cricket, for sport in this country.
But every time there is a victory, it is a ripple effect. It affects women's salaries and what they get because of their skill set, their dynamic personalities, and the audience that they grow. Everybody wins.
I think that it's just a really great opportunity to be able to build now on everything that we've spoken about today, so that next year is just the most amazing summer and it's a brilliant event.
We need your support, we love your support, and hopefully you can roar us on to many victories.
It's the year that women's cricket breaks into the mainstream and stays there.
Our games are full of action.
This is the way we play. Give it 100. Sign up now.
All the fun and all the games, they all start here with All Stars Cricket. Skills, friendships, smiles, dreams. It all happens here. Every session is all out action. All invited, even mums and dads. That's ball, catch, go. All stars and All Stars.
Welcome back to Northampton. 102 is the target. The required run rate of 5.1 and over. Routledge and Trust are out there. They will be feeling supremely confident. Earlier on in the day, they put on an unbroken stand in chasing 108 to win against Leicestershire. Trust made 52 not out of 30. Routledge also impressive in striking an unbeaten 45 of 34. And an opening partnership, even half as impressive as that, would be greatly useful for them in pursuit of something of an upset win against Yorkshire.
In pursuit of glory.
In pursuit of glory. And alongside me, someone who's always so impressive to have her company. Georgia.
I thought you could say someone who's always in pursuit of glory. Pursuit, yes. Receival of slightly less.
Now, Yorkshire are going to have to bowl and field here like absolute demons. They've had a few blast games this season where they've posted scores that have been in and around that 120 sort of region, and it's been their bowling and fielding that's got them out of jail. But this is a whole other level altogether. Beth Langston to bowl the first over of the reply into Routledge, who is up to 207 runs in the blast this season with the 45 she scored earlier on. This opening pair have been excellent. A couple of early wickets is key for Yorkshire, and ideally these two. It's a decent start from Langston. LBW appeal, you sense a bit high.
Yeah, it looked a bit high, didn't it? Above the knee roll, you'd say. Routledge not the tallest of figures, but still kicking on.
Now, Langston earlier on in the day was superb. 2 for 19 off her 4. Langston right on the button again. Routledge just guiding that out to point. He's been one of the stars of finals day so far, Izzy Routledge. Excellent with the ball twice. And the runs as well. And a name whose reputation is already growing very quickly at 22. First woman to take a hat-trick at Lord's, has also piled on 2 huge hundreds, including a double in the varsity match. So that's pulled away. She's going to get 4 of the finest runs you'll see all day. Langston trying to bang one in. It didn't work. Start to the run chase goes well for Middlesex here.
Yeah, actually, just pretty easy runs there. Sat up there to be hit, and she rolled her wrists over it, kept it safe along the ground. And they're up and running in this chase now, Middlesex. And Routledge, who'd had a pretty good match earlier, pretty good day, just continues. He just keeps it nice and safe. Langston had started well with the ball, but that one just sitting up to be hit.
It's a much better delivery from Langston. I just wonder whether that was her intentional bumper, but the pitch is slow, so it didn't really get above that belly button height, or it's a delivery where she was trying to bowl back of a length and just got a length wrong. I'm referring to, of course, the ball that got hit to the boundary, not that last one. And that's back to Langston. Fields well in a follow through. Nice looking straight drive from Routledge. Product of Triplo Cricket Club. Has also played for Cambridge St Giles and the Old Leysians. Made a Cambridgeshire and Hunts County debut as a 14-year-old. Then spent some time at Essex. I know Middlesex were delighted to get her services in 2022. Short, pulled away. 4 more for Routledge. Once again punishing the short ball from Langston. And that was definitely the intentional bouncer. And it gets the treatment. 8 off the over. 8 for none off 1.
Yeah, fiery first over, just what they wanted, Middlesex. Yes, it's not a big target, but what you want to do is take a hefty chunk out of it, break the back of the chase early on so that they don't have to take it deep and into the sort of 18th, 19th over, because that's when it does start to get nervy. And, you know, you talk about the nerves of a final. They can get this done early, get some big runs under the belt and just bring that required rate down. That's already under 5.
I know Mark Broom there, relatively new head coach, has talked a lot about clarity and purpose and messaging to his players. They have had a couple of awkward chases of low scores this season. I imagine the messaging would have been around essentially bat as if we're batting first.
Yeah.
Don't bat like you're batting just to get 102 to win inside the 20 overs. But it will be a tricky challenge for Trussler. He's facing Rachel Slater. It's a lovely start from Slater. As Trussler, as you would say, wafting at it.
I don't know why I say wafting. I probably should say wafting, but it's just stuck. I don't know.
I know what you mean. The phrases come into your head. It's like me with scamperage for running between the wickets. Trussler that time, just pushing back to Slater. It's interesting, we were talking about Middlesex staying calm in the field, and that being a message from Hawley. They talk a lot about red heads and blue heads. Red is sort of like passionate and fiery, and blue is kind of like ice cool, and they talk about trying to be purple, trying to be in the middle. Okay. A nice mix of calm and composed but energetic. Trussler this time just turns it away for 1. Trussler by her teammates' own admission is known as one that when the team needs it brings more of the red qualities to things.
There's just far too many things to have to try and decipher if you're part of this Middlesex side. You've got your hypes and you've got to figure out what those letters are. What colour am I today?
It's definitely working for them.
Because I thought you were going to start talking matrix, red pill, blue pill, and then I was getting really confused.
Well, what we can say without confusion is they're chasing a 13th win from 15 this season.
And this the most important of the lot.
Straight to short mid-wicket. And they've wanted to prove a point as well. While turning up at final state and winning it, certainly would do that. I know it was a bit of a motivation for them in the games against Glamorgan, which they've had. They've played them 3 times and beaten them twice. Glamorgan the only side to beat them in the Blast so far. That's a horrible ball from Slater. It's not what you need when you've only got 101 on the board. It's going to be 5 wides, effectively 5 3B runs. And a rare poor ball from Slater spoils what have been such a tight over.
I was just going to say, this is the over they needed after 8 off the first one. Really tidy from Slater. She'd bowled it nicely. And then straying well down that leg side. Absolutely nothing to be done to stop it behind the stumps. And even on the fairly slow outfield, it had enough pace to just roll on down to the rope in front of us.
Better ball from Slater. That's into the pads. It's a appeal more in a lot of hope than expectation from behind the stumps. Scoreboard says 4 wides at the moment. That That, I believe, will get ticked over. It is 5 wides, so this over has gone for 5 on Slater's figures, plus the leg by. Lovely looking cover drive, great stop. And there by Claudie Cooper, who will be key with the ball later on. Those kind of bits of fielding make such a difference when runs are a particularly precious currency. 15 without loss after 2.
Yeah, it's a really good bit of fielding actually, and it's one of those that you've got those sort of practice wickets out there, you've got the bit of the strip out, so it can get a really awkward bounce, and she predicted the bounce really well because that can end up bobbling up and taking out your chin, your front teeth, and a very expensive bobble up if it does hit you in the face.
Reminder as well, these two teams meet in Metrobank One Day Cup action next Saturday.
And talking of Claudie Cooper and how important she's going to be with the ball, she's been handed it straight away.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised. Yorkshire decided after his first 2 overs they need a change of dynamic. Straight to mid-off. Now, Claudie Cooper, in 75% of the first over she's bowled of spells this season, has picked up a wicket. She's got an unusually high tendency to do so. Targets the stumps early and can make things happen, but that's just a full toss and it gets the treatment it deserves, and Cooper might be a little disappointed to have not stopped it off her own bowling. She's normally so good at fielding in such a situation. 4 more.
I think she has managed to get a bit of a hand to it because she's just holding it there and trying to extend her fingers and utter a few profanities in her head, one would imagine.
So that shows there was nice footwork from Routledge to create the length that she wanted. It's maybe a little harsh when calling it a full toss from Cooper. Routledge makes it look like a worse ball than it was. And that's a poor delivery. She's worked a lot, Routledge, on her more attacking options over the winter. Footwork against spin, and we saw it in action there. An ability to go through the gears, an ability to score quickly in the power play. Swipe and a miss from Routledge. Well bowled by Cooper. In fact, she's flooded that into her own foot, and she's in a bit of pain there, Routledge. Those can be pretty unpleasant if you get them in the wrong spot. She's having a little chuckle to trust her. She tried to take a bit of time out by going and having a chat with her partner. Just has to defend what's a good ball. Make sure she watches the backspin.
What's interesting in this final is that Maddie Ward and Lauren Winfield-Hill have swapped around from the semi-finals. So in the semi-final it was Maddie Ward who was keeping wicket, and now it's Lauren Winfield-Hill, as this one is just pushed towards cover. So we did mention it in that semi-final, how they had the option of either Winfield-Hill or Ward behind the stump. So they've decided that it will be Winfield-Hill with the gloves and Maddie Ward directing as the captain with those red boots on at mid-off.
That's turned away for a dot to finish the over, so still no early breakthrough for Yorkshire. 5 off it, 20 without loss after 3. Middlesex will be very content with this as a start. Now, does Ward go? Yeah, I thought this might happen. It's going to be Olivia Thomas. This is an aggressive move. It's a bold move, but in the circumstances of the game, for me, it tactically makes sense. They've got their leg spinner into the attack very early here.
It's a bold strategy, Carton.
Yeah, there's going to be flight, there'll be temptation. She likes to get the ball up above the batter's eye line, but with the game situation as it is, I think it's time for a calculated risk for Yorkshire. Olivia Thomas came into today with sitting 8th in the last wickets tally. He's as good a person as anyone who you could turn to for something different and for a breakthrough. Winfield-Hill, you can see, looks like a traffic controller out there, directing fielders around. Getting that field set up, pointing in all sorts of directions. Using all her 104 England caps of experience. It's a nice start from Thomas, but it's a nice shot off the back foot. Lovely guide this from Trussler, which will stop in the slow outfield and bring 2.
Yeah, it was a good chase by Georgie Boyce. Detritus left in her wake as she went flying. Hat, glasses, everything falling out of her pocket as she went to cut that one off. And it just slows. It's almost like it hits this just bit of quicksand or something. It just slows the ball down completely as it goes towards that boundary rope down in front of us.
All back towards Thomas, who just flies a hand out in hope more than expectation, but away it goes for 4. Great shot from Trussler, making room, inviting Thomas to bowl full and at the stumps. Thomas did that and got punished.
Yeah, well, if Yorkshire weren't worried before, now they really will be. Finty Trussler just bludgeoning this one.
And that is one of her signature shots, sort of straight V bludgeon, if you will. Not sure how you quite categorise that as an
technical
analyst.
term, yeah.
But I think you get the idea. Goes back this time, but that's straight at Boyce. And that's one of the good things about this opening pair. They do tend to score in very different areas a lot of the time. Routledge tends to be a little stronger square of the wicket, very good through the covers. It's been a key opening partnership for Middlesex this season, statistically speaking, as good as anyone in Tier 2. Into the pads from Olivia Thomas. He did an interview on the Nobles That Cricket podcast about her autism and ADHD that's well worth a listen, with Alex Hartley and Kate Cross. It's someone part of that community as well. It was great to hear her being so open and talking through that. Well worth a listen. It's Thomas again, short, pulled out to deep mid-wicket. That will be 1. Thomas is doing what she's been brought on to do here. Give it plenty of flight and try and make something happen. Take a level of risk. Winfield Hill's just going down and having a little word.
Yeah, how much have we seen this? You've seen a lot of Yorkshire this summer. I was saying how obviously Maddie Ward kept wicket in the semi-final and now Lauren Winfield Hill in the final. Must just be such a luxury to be able to have that interchangeability.
As Winfield Hill takes that one. So 27 without loss after 4. Yeah, and of course the other thing for Yorkshire that was a bit of an unexpected discovery in the winter nets was Ward's excellence as a spin bowler, and they haven't had that to call on in the Blast because of Ward instead taking the gloves. They've basically taken the attitude that when Winfield Hill is around in the Blast, it's almost like a bonus. She'll come in and, on the whole, she hasn't kept wicket. I wonder whether today it's about workload, thinking that maybe giving both 1 game each just spreads the workload out a little more. Both equally excellent keepers. Cooper's back for more. Guided straight to backward point for no run. Cooper's first over went for 5. Yorkshire desperate to dislodge this opening pair. You can see that required run rate. It's already down at 4.7. Down the track and hit back over her head. What a shot from Trussler. Again, we've mentioned this before. Likes to bludgeon it down the ground on the half volley. A shot of real conviction and disdain. 4 runs.
Yeah, she takes it on almost front on as well. You know, you hear about cricket being a sideways game traditionally, but in the modern game it's just changed so much, and she just frees up her arms and doesn't really even bother having to run.
She knew she'd nailed it across that gap, but Slater's gone out to long on now. Very straight long on. That's into the pads. Looked like it was dribbling down leg. Umpire Jarvis agrees. Replay appears to confirm it.
Yeah, and easily a 2nd run as well.
And this game is disappearing away from Yorkshire fast. Trussler, who's had quite an evolution. Just plops that one into the leg side. It feels like a long time ago that Finty Trussler played a couple of games for the Southern Vipers as a 19-year-old leg spinner back in 2022 in the Rachel Hayhoe Flint Trophy. Took a couple of wickets in each. And here she is all these 3 years later as a very good opening batter, but Cooper wins that mini duel, playing a miss. And as they often do, Routledge and Trussler coming down for sort of a mini chat in the middle of the over, just to exchange something one of them might have spotted. Cooper trying to push it quick and flatter. Well, that's gone through Winfield Hill, and not for the first time in this innings. It's going to be 5 wides. So add in the one that happened off Slater, and that's effectively 10 bonus runs that Yorkshire have handed to Middlesex.
Nothing seems to be going the way of the team in blue at the moment. We only saw 7 extras bowled by Middlesex the whole of that Yorkshire innings. And they're leaking them here, Yorkshire.
All jabbed down. Can get a slightly fortuitous single. So 11 comes off the over, 38 without loss after 5. And as if to emphasise the point even further, after 5 overs of Yorkshire's innings, they were very much not 39 without loss. They were 15 for 3. And just on the note of extras, Georgie mentions the 7 extras. 4 of those were leg byes, which you can't often really do a lot about. 3 wides. Yorkshire, meanwhile, have already bowled 11 wides, as well as a leg bye.
And those just become the point of difference, especially when you're defending such a low total as well.
I mean, to be blunt, we're almost into miracle territory here.
Now, this is what we were talking about earlier. Maddie Ward is going to come into the attack with the ball in hand. So this is why Lauren Winfield Hill is keeping wicket, because then we can have this change up. The bright red boots. Nice, quick darted in by Ward.
Well, the tricky thing for Ward is this is actually the first time she's bowled in a competitive game in well over a month, because she's been keeping for all of the blast. Now comes in no pressure.
Well, she's been the best of the Yorkshire players today with the bat, and now she's trying to do the business with the ball. This one will just pick up a couple as it squirts through the covers.
She just bowls little offies, and then she's got a leg spinner in the locker as a change-up. She's been very effective for Yorkshire in the County Cup and in the 50-over comp too.
Straying down the leg side again. Lauren Winfield Hill does well to get across and get something in the way. Not taken cleanly, but still stopped. But another extra to the total as well. Yeah, that's well bowled. Just a little fuller. Trussler just caught in 2 minds, rocks off the back foot and can't time it.
Yeah, and she releases even the off spinners a bit like a leg spinner, which can make her tricky to pick.
This time a little bit of flight. Get back in your crease. She's sort of gone for a little amble. And trying to take on Liv Thomas. Again, they come through for a chat in the middle. I find this weird, when you have to go and chat every other ball.
No, they like it, Routledge and Trussler.
I know, but what more can you possibly have to say than you said the previous ball before you hit it straight to a fielder along the ground? Sweep shot. Hit well, hit hard, finds the gap. 4 more to the total. 4 more to Trussler. She moves on to 20.
Yeah, it's a textbook sweep shot. Rolled the wrists on it. And Middlesex are absolutely flying along here. This opening pair. Well, she knows that she's playing a shot outside the line of off stump. She's got that pad in the way as a second layer of protection.
7 now from the over from Maddie Ward. A dot to finish things off. So end of the power play. Brings the power play to a close. 6 gone, 46 for none, Middlesex, and they are well on top in this final. Yorkshire haven't lost a game in the T20 Blast. They find themselves in the final here, staring down the barrel of what could be their first loss, and it is the worst one to lose.
Absolutely, and if you take out that quarter-final County Cup defeat to the Bears, because it's Tier 1 opposition, a game Yorkshire weren't really expected to win, where they got pretty soundly thrashed by 10 wickets. If you look at the record without that game, it's 13 wins from all of their matches since they lost to Worcestershire at Headingley at April in the 50-over comp. But Middlesex have got a great record as well. They've lost just twice this season. Langston's back. Went for 8 from her only over so far. Floodlight's really kicking in now. Natural light just starting to ebb away. I know some batters say that can make sighting the white ball a little bit harder. Some fielders definitely say it's well, trying to pick it out of the white floodlights at times.
Yeah, just pushing Campbell down to deep fine leg. Should be just one here. Coming flying in off the boundary. They won't mind this. A little wayward throw backing up. Got to be in really tight on this. You can't afford to be giving away any extras with overthrows. But where are they going to find this wicket? That's the problem. They've got to break this partnership. They saw them home in the semi-final, these two. And now they're just carbon copy doing the same here in the final.
Oh, sorry.
Well bowled, and does pick out Campbell out on that boundary.
You've thrown me into a thought that might be one for the likes of Andy Zaltzman, which, you know, far be it Middlesex supporters won't like me saying this to tempt fate, but how often in a finals day has a team won a competition winning 2 games where only 2 players have batted? That can't have happened very often.
True. Not there yet. Short this time, very short from Langston.
Excellent decision from Routledge just to duck and sway.
There's the late decision, the wide.
Ooh.
Finty Trustler was there just tapping at her shoulder. Oh no, now one for the over. So it is just a dot. So we've had a change in signal from the umpire. I think it's a dot now. No, change to a wide.
Scoreboard seems to still say wide.
That's a good bit of fielding. Really well stopped.
Well, I feel for Langston there.
And that brings the 50 up. 50 up inside the 7 overs for Middlesex. Yet to lose a wicket. This opening partnership has proved prolific in the semi-final and doing just the same thing here in the final. Again, just slightly fuller from Langston.
50 brought up off 39 balls. For context, it took Yorkshire not far off double that amount of time. Yorkshire brought up their 50 in the 12th over for the loss of 5 wickets. Sometimes the numbers tell their own story.
Comes charging at this one.
Winfield Hill was eyeing a little rollback stumping. Juster was all too alert to it.
A little bit of a stare from Winfield Hill behind the stumps.
Yeah, there's a good competitive spirit out there.
They're not quite where she was intending to hit it. They'll think about coming back for a second, won't take on the fielder, which means that he'll retain the strike for the beginning of the next over. 7 overs gone. Middlesex well on top here. 51 without loss. That target is another 51 runs away, and they've got 13 overs to do it.
Yeah, what we can tell you for certain is these sides will meet again in 50 over cricket next Saturday, the 2nd of August at Headingley, and plenty of Middlesex fans will be travelling up, I'm sure, looking to see their side make it 5 wins from 5 in that competition. It's safe to say, based on what we've seen here, it's going to be one heck of a game of cricket. Still life left in this one, but Yorkshire needs something quick. Top wicket taker in the competition, Rhea Fackrell's on.
Yeah, so Maddie Ward bowled just 1 over, went for 7, and has gone off again, the captain. Turns to hopefully her golden arm. Aerial this time. Amy Campbell just watches it soar over the boundary. The first 6 of the chase. Finty Trussler, stand and deliver. That is sensational striking.
She has fetched that from almost the wide line outside off stump. And such is the power and the timing.
Good response from Fackrell.
4th 6 in the comp for Trussler. Only Francesca Sweet of Leicestershire's hit more.
7 already off this over. Pushing cover out onto the boundary. Still got that deep mid wicket. Long on in place. And out cover just doing some laps. Getting his steps in. Run out to the boundary and now you're back in again. Doing the hokey cokey. Turned around the corner for 1. That's all they need to do. That required rate now is only 3.47.
Yeah, it's been an interesting partnership, this. Routledge with all the early scoring, all the early strike, and then Trussler has dominated both scoring and strike in more recent times. And between them, they are taking Yorkshire apart.
And this is all they need to do. Just tick it over. It's already 9 from the over after that monster 6 from the first ball.
Yeah, I know they've put in a really good team in place behind the scenes, Middlesex. The players themselves might not be full-time, but they've had full-time support.
Again, tip and run.
Full-time head coach Mark Broom, newly in. Full-time S&C, physio, analyst as well as consultants. Like I know Mark Stoneman came in as a batting consultant, and this opening pair both found that really useful.
Finally, a dot ball to finish the over. So Fackrell's first. Expensive, goes for 10. 8 overs gone. Middlesex 61 without loss.
At this stage, Yorkshire were 33 for 3. And of course, as anyone who knows was here, it got worse. And that one tells its own story. One is on a sugar rush and is not worried about certain dots appearing on it for wickets. And one is resembling far more of a set of skyscrapers than the other.
So Maddie Ward has turned back to Liv Thomas here. Change of ends for Thomas. 7 runs from her first over. This has got to go at less than half of that. Needs to find a wicket. Played nicely along the ground. They've just got no answer at the moment, Yorkshire. Maddie Ward is mixing up her bowlers, bowling them one at a time. Just 1 over spells. No one is able to find a breakthrough. She even brought on Fackrell, her greatest wicket taker. Well, she was launched for 6 very first ball. Yeah, well fielded. Really well done off her own bowling. It's when you bring out your best fielding, isn't it? Off your own bowling.
Got to protect those figures.
Got to protect those figures.
One-handed with a less preferred hand.
Oh, not a clue where that had gone. Little pirouette. Get her in the ballet.
Well bowled by Thomas. Flight and temptation.
And the way she plays cricket, seems to just be able to do whatever comes her way. She probably could take to the ballet. All about balance, isn't it?
Certainly shown plenty of that today.
A really flighted delivery from Thomas. That's one that could so easily tempt a batter into trying something fancy. Tidy this from Thomas, just the 2 runs. And turned away round the corner. They're going to think about coming back for a second. A little bit of indecision, but you can see Routledge, she turned and set off straight away. Trussler sort of watching to see what would happen, knowing she's running to the safe end. And in the end, easily home. So now already 4 from the over, above that required rate. And that could race to the boundary. Stair-Callis giving pursuit. It'll slow down enough, but wides. Or has it just found something on the pad? Leg by signalled. And it brings the over to a close. 9 overs gone. 67 for none.
Yeah, this is a superb effort on finals day. Izzy Routledge was telling me earlier this week about how in 2023, as Middlesex captain, in her own words, she had a 0% win record. As skipper, she got individual player of the year, so her individual performances were superb. But 2 years later, just look at Middlesex now. And the new structure, how times can change so fast. A lot of the same players, grown, improved, developed, a very young team still. And here they are, on the brink of glory.
Well, here comes Maddie Ward, another young player. A slightly quicker delivery from the captain. Those vibrant, what would you call them, coral-coloured shoes, almost?
That does make her easy to pick out as a commentator,
Red?
which is always handy. We need to ask her.
Oh, she's done well there.
Ooh.
Stick out her left hand, and something has come off that's white, which I thought was the ball, but it's not. And
yeah, that's a great spot.
What is that?
It's her finger bandage that she's got on her non-bowling hand.
Gross.
I'm pretty certain. And the way I can tell you is because I can see her trying to put it back in. Yep, there we go.
Ooh.
Rather you than me. Some kind of a splint for that finger.
That had me all confused because I thought that was the ball. That's going to be one more to the total, wide down the leg side. Maddie Ward in those sort of Flash Gordon sunglasses.
14th wide of the innings, Middlesex bowled 3. So it's already plus 11 to Middlesex on that.
Thinks about coming through for the run. You gotta scamper back as a few arms wave in the air from Yorkshire, but more, the appeal looked more like a sort of stretching as you've got out of bed yawn in the morning rather than a real genuine appeal.
Desperation rather than expectation. Given the scoreboard, you can understand. Yorkshire beyond desperate for a wicket now.
Just the 2 from the over. Nice touch. I'm going to have to be quick and easy as you like in the end, taking on the arm of Stair-Callis. This partnership has just made it look so easy in this chase. Rotated strike nicely, waited for the bad ball. One still to come. Goes aerial, that's even bigger than the last. Almost takes out the cameraman. Second 6 of the chase. Finty Trussler. That is huge. And kudos to the cameraman. Didn't even flinch.
Yeah, the coolest person in Northampton. Camera person out there. And a rare good over for Yorkshire. It's spoilt by a massive boundary off the last. I mean, what a character arc for Finty Trussler. It was not that long ago that she was a frustrated leg spinner who was playing in the Vipers 2s, and despite being clearly talented, couldn't get into that very impressive Vipers first team. And here she is now, after being told by Charlotte Edwards that she got something to focus on with her batting.
Well, Charlotte Edwards does do that because she can just pick things out. Georgia Adams obviously was captain that Vipers side. Charlotte Edwards said, right, yeah, you're a batter. Go and have a bowl, do some more bowling. And now she picks up wickets like it's nobody's business.
She sees things that mere mortals don't.
Although she did once tell me as an 8-year-old I was a good batter, and here I am sat in the commentary box without a cap to my name, so I don't know.
Olivia Thomas-on trying to do the near impossible at this stage. Nice shot from Routledge. Slow outfield means that will pull up short, and it will be 2 for Routledge, who, as an all-round contributor across finals day, probably takes a...
Yeah, she's had a good day. She's had a good day at the office, you would say.
3 for 42 off her 8 overs, and she's on for 2 red inkers, and she's got this away as well. There's no one behind square on the leg side, so it's a massive chase for Thackrell round from deep square leg. 2 more. There's a 10-wicket win here for these two if they want it. If they can just keep their discipline, keep their focus. Plenty more flight from Thomas into the pads. Worth reminding you as well, final stage for Tier 1 and Tier 3 tomorrow. And there's a relatively big game of football going on, he says in the most sarcastic way possible. Of course,
and you can even watch it from the Oval at the Tier 1 finals.
Absolutely. Leah Thomas is driven down the ground, and that's just got past Slater, who now has to do that horrible thing in the field where you have to get up and chase after it, but Ward completes the work. And that's 3 more. So it's disappearing away from Yorkshire very fast now. 19 to win. They can go at a sedentary pace from here, and these two will still make it.
These don't seem like the kind of pair that really ever fancy going at a sedentary pace.
No. Well, the interesting thing is at the start of this comp, Middlesex struggled in the power plays and finished innings very well, and then it's kind of reversed. So that's straight to point, and one of the main reasons it's reversed is how settled and impressive this opening partnership have been. So many times in the first 10 overs of innings in the back end of this comp, they've been the ones laying a really nice groundwork. Today, they've been the ones also taking it on and finishing it, benefiting from their good work. Down the track and smashed straight back past the bowler. 1 bounce for Trussler again with that sort of straight arm bludgeon that we've mentioned before. Absolutely dismissive. 87 without loss after 11, and it's just 15 to win now. 15 to win, beg your pardon.
They've got absolutely no answer at the moment, Yorkshire. Everyone Maddie Ward turns to gets dispatched. When it's just 15 needed from 54 with 10 wickets in hand, well, you need someone to start bowling grenades.
And don't underestimate the achievement here from Middlesex. They might be supported by a fully professional setup, but these are all players who are not full-time professional cricketers. Against a team almost entirely of full-time professional cricketers at Yorkshire. You have that setup optimised, ready for Tier 1 next season. And it is Middlesex who are comfortably beating them. Comfortably doesn't even do it justice. Rachel Slater's back on. She's only bowled that 1 over, the 2nd over of the innings that went for 6. Yorkshire, much like Leicestershire right now, are being Routledged and Trusslered. Slater waving a deep backward square leg around. But then chucks one down leg, and this might well go for 5 wides as well. Desperate dive, very good dive from Rebecca Duckworth. But it still will cost Yorkshire 3. $12 to win. On the ground for no run that time. No, they've done a little bit of training alongside the men's team as well, and there was a point where Kane Williamson gave a little seminar to Middlesex's top 6, a bit of stardust passing on. It was a good luck message from him and the men's team as well. Women's team absolutely flying here towards victory. That's flicked away for one more. That is 11 to win.
Vintage Trustler eyeing up a half century here as well. 42 from 36. That's well bowled.
It's worth saying Trust has now gone past 300 runs in the comp and has gone past Francesca Sweet for the top run scorer in the competition. She has 306 and counting to Sweet's 296. Georgie Boyce deserves an honourable mention on the podium with 288. Straight at cover point. Still 11 to win. Flicked away. Duckworth will do the fielding. One more. 10 to win. Middlesex doing an excellent job of more than showing their ability to be one of the sides to beat in Tier 2. Of course, the way this women's cricket structure works, for those that are new, Yorkshire, regardless of results this season, will go up into Tier 1 next season, and Glamorgan will go up into Tier 1 in 2027. Hit hard out towards Duckworth. One more. End of the over. Just 9 to win. 6 comes off that Slater over. So it does lead to the somewhat unusual situation where Middlesex could end up winning the double this season, and of course they would not be promoted.
Yes, well, it just seems to be, sadly, the way the cookie crumbles at the moment, but you wouldn't mind winning the double. Got to eye up winning the first one first. Still got 9 runs to get. I mean, 8 overs in hand, 10 wickets in hand.
Yeah,
you would feel that the odds were probably in their favour.
Yeah, it's a dugout full of smiles and laughter, and you can more than forgive that with the scoreboard being set as it is. Honourable mention should go to the likes of Anaya Patel, Middlesex's 14-year-old debutant, who was a spin sensation through the group stages. The seamer Sarah Pearson, the spinner Anisha Dissanayake. They've all played important roles in getting Middlesex to finals day, even if they haven't played today. So that's swung out to deep mid-wicket, 8 to win. Lauren Turner, the seamer, who's made some impressive contributions, and Georgia Irving in the middle order. And there's 5 players there who've played significant parts in the group stage, even if on finals day they haven't been required. Likes of Olivia Kibler and Lucy Porter too. That's into the pads, Thackrell somewhat delaying the inevitable. And even players like a Lucy Porter, a Layla Judge, a Jenny Blofeld, the experienced Natasha Miles, they might not have played in the Blast, but they've been around that group and made a difference. Thackrell appealing for an LBW. Umpire Jarvis not interested. Oh, that's a horrid delivery. Did come down the pitch, Truster, which makes it look even worse, and kind of ends up fly swatting. Gets it away for 4. So just 4 to win now for Middlesex. And Kappa, what's been about as perfect a finals day as you could wish to see from them. One boundary will do it for Finty Trustler, and one boundary will bring her back-to-back half-centuries. She'll have to wait a little longer. Now Trustler takes her time. 4 to win. Won't get it there. Would be back-to-back half-centuries in 10 wicket wins for Finty Trustler if she can hit this ball to the boundary. She's had an extraordinarily brilliant finals day. Comes down the track, smashes it away, but it's well stopped by Cooper. They will get 1.
But she will keep strike.
Yep, 3 to win. Trustler has 48. Now 44. What a time it's been for her. I mentioned that all this Middlesex side are not full-time professional cricketers. She's starting in September as a business teacher and coach of cricket at Cranley School. Pretty decent cricket coach to have, if you ask me.
It's a good cricket school as well.
Yeah, it certainly is. Izzy Routledge, meanwhile, a trainee lawyer. I was chatting to both of them in the week. They were saying, isn't it wild to think we'll come out and play on finals day, we might well win the trophy, and the next day or the day after we'll stroll back into work.
They might just be glad it's not a Sunday then today.
Yes.
Should there be a few celebrations?
A few deserved celebrations.
A few lemonades?
Yep. 3 to win. Trustler on strike. Can she finish it in style? She can finish it in style. Middlesex have done it. They win by 10 wickets in both their semi-final and their final. Yorkshire have been Routledged and Trustlered. The opening pair have done it again, just like against Leicestershire. A sensational effort from the bowling group to restrict Yorkshire to 101 for 9. And then the opening pair finish it in some style. Yorkshire beaten with 6 overs and 5 balls to spare, 35 balls still in the tank.
A Herculean effort from Middlesex today. It all started off with the ball. They took those early wickets and they really put the wobbles on Yorkshire, who never really recovered. And then coming out with the bat, they showed the team in blue just how it could be done. This opening partnership are quite sensational. No one else in the Middlesex side today even needed to bring their bat, because these two have done it all. No one else has had to bat today. Middlesex are the inaugural champions of the Vitality Blast Women's League 2. Saskia Hawley there. She has led them so well throughout this campaign. And Yorkshire, they've gone unbeaten until this point, until the one that really, really mattered. And Middlesex, they can now begin to celebrate. They have done it. They are the champions and they will be lifting the trophy.
Quite extraordinary. Routledge, the all-round star performer of the day. The star batter of the day, no doubt, Trustler. Back-to-back unbeaten half-centuries, 52 not out in both games. And it's that pair in particular that have been integral. But that entire bowling unit, Katie Wolfe, Saskia Hawley, Hannah Davis, Chana Kamban-Patti, have all been superb throughout. And this is a quite extraordinary triumph against a team almost entirely of full-time professional cricketers from Yorkshire. Middlesex with a professional setup, but all of these players will stroll back into work on Monday morning, but you hope they do after having one heck of a party this weekend, and they deserve every second of it.
They really do. Hugs all around for the backroom staff as well. You can't get to a trophy without the work of them too. So real appreciation for everyone involved in this Middlesex women's side. And it was just too easy in the end, wasn't it? We knew that 101 was going to be a pretty easy target, but you just never know until both teams have batted. You never know what can happen in a final.
Well, for Middlesex now, it's 13 wins from 15 games across all competitions. and they will be eyeing up the double, as they should be. They are top of Women's League 2 Metrobank One Day Cup with 4 wins from 4.
Eyeing up the double.
Absolutely. They've got 5 games left in that. They've only got to get in the top 4 to get into a semi-final. And then they'd be 2 games from the double. And intriguingly in that comp, they face Yorkshire next week, next Saturday at Headingley.
Let's be honest, they won't be thinking about anything about that right now. I don't think next week at Headingley is even on their radar.
It's definitely not.
And the emotion is finally coming through.
Well, having held it in for so long, the enormity of the achievement can sink in. I only mention that fixture because if you've been watching this one, that's worth tuning in for. Middlesex will want to rub more salt in Yorkshire's wounds. Yorkshire will want revenge. As for today, it was a finals day from start to finish that has been dominated by Middlesex. There was 2 teams at this finals day who will be in Tier 1 within the next couple of seasons. Middlesex aren't one of them, and there was definitely a sense from the camp of wanting to prove a point on that front, and they couldn't have done it much better than they have. Chasing down 141 to win against Leicestershire, they did it with 56 balls to spare. And then here, against Yorkshire, they did it just as comfortably. 10-wicket win with 41 balls left. It's a story that you sense will be told plenty of times by anyone of the cricketing persuasion in West London for years to come. What a way for this new era to start. Great credit to the backroom staff as well, led by head coach Mark Broom. Richard Pyra's Yorkshire have a lot of thinking to do, having come into finals day with big expectations on their shoulders. But all the credit goes to Middlesex. They have played an absolute blinder here. You sense there'll be county cricket analysts right up and down the country trying to figure out, how do we stop Izzy Routledge and Finty Trussler? What an opening combination.
Look at that, smiles all around now. Big celebrations soon to begin for the team in pink.
Yeah, and these are the moments as a professional cricketer you live and work for, but for these players, haven't even got to that stage. There's a lot of them, I'm sure, I know, have that aspiration one day to be pros, and playing as well as they have in Tier 2 is a pretty good way to go about it. It's been a superb effort from them across finals day. Know that they were really disappointed in that County Cup. They felt like the draw had opened up for them really well. They looked at the way things fell in a round 3 clash against Blaze and saw it as a great opportunity missed to lose in the first round to Kent. But now, my goodness me, the next chance they've had to win a trophy, they have been ruthless. Just 1 defeat away at Glamorgan in 10 games. Comfortably winners of the South Group, and arguably even more comfortably winners on finals day.
They've just dominated, absolutely. Never looked in any kind of strife, any worry at any point today. Just completely in control of both games. That chase was just clinical. They haven't lost a wicket all day.
It's something that I mentioned when they're halfway through that run chase. It's one for the statos, but cannot be many times, particularly in this T20 era where sides won 2 games on finals day without losing a wicket. Izzy Routledge is a star all-rounder of the day, and I believe it's just being presented with the Player of the Match award for the final. That will be a particularly proud moment for everyone at Triplo Cricket Club, where she came through once upon a time and now gives back as a coach in the juniors section. Superb day she had. 3 for 42 off 8 with the ball, going at just a tickle over 5 and over, and she didn't get out with the bat. Unbeaten twice. She's just taking in every moment, and she's got a nice bottle of something to start the party off later on, and she's earned every drop of it. Reminder as well, Tier 1 finals day tomorrow, Blaze versus Bears, Surrey await the winners because they've earned that right from winning the top tier in terms of the league table. That's at the Oval. Post-match presentation coming very shortly here. Middlesex, the winners by 10 wickets in the first semi-final against Leicestershire and 10 wickets in the final against Yorkshire. Deservedly your winners of this inaugural Vitality Women's League 2 Blast. Let's get down to pitch side for the post-match presentation.
Your team have been there waiting to cheer you on for the last couple of minutes. What an amazing match. How are you feeling?
Don't really know how to feel, can't really process it. We just came here like wanting to play our best cricket, and I think we really did that today, and I'm so proud of everyone because like we've had so many people here, like even the people cheering us on just kept us going all day, and it was amazing.
I'll talk about the support in a second, but for you, two very important wickets for you, taking Maddie Ward and Lauren Winfield-Hill as well. Maddie Ward looked like she was settling in for the night, a really important wicket for you to take.
Yeah, Sass just told me to keep hitting my areas because we know like how destructive Maddie is, like behind square and all over the place. So we were just like, Sass just said, keep hitting areas, and I did that, so it came off, which was nice.
And amazing. You and Fincy Trustler basically just sort of being sent out to bat. The others just like chilling out and watching you. Over 200 runs between you. I mean, how are you feeling? You must be incredibly proud of that partnership.
Yeah, we kind of were still in at like 40 for naught, and I was like, just keep going, keep going. We kind of calm each other down because we both kind of, you know, oh, let's play a big shot here. We stayed in and just kept going, and yeah, really proud of her. She did really well, 250s today.
Yeah, amazing. And I know that your captain has spoken very much of the unity within the team. You seem like a very tight-knit group of players.
Yeah, a lot of us have been together for like the last 3 or 4 years. We've got a few new players, but it's nice because it's not just a new thing this year. Like we've been building for a long time, so everyone knows each other really well. And like to see like the whole squad here today, I think just shows it off that we are really all here for each other.
And you mentioned the support. The crowd kept cheering you till the end.
Yeah, the crowd was amazing. We don't particularly play with many loud crowds, so it was great to be like under the lights with the music, everyone cheering. Like it's so different like to last year's county cricket. Like the tier 2 opportunities have been amazing. So yeah, thanks to the ECB for that.
Well, Izzy Routledge, our Vitality Player of the Match. A huge congratulations to you, Izzy. Thank you so much. Hi Maddie, your team are giving you a massive round of applause. Must be a tough one to take.
Yeah, definitely a tough one to take. Probably didn't show up how we wanted to today, but obviously credit to Middlesex, they smashed it.
So what are your thoughts on the match? What do you think stopped you? Semi-final you performed really well?
I just don't really think we probably turned up with a bat how we have done the rest of the comp. Like you said, tough one to take, but Middlesex bowled really well. We just didn't really show up.
You need to be proud to be here, though. It is the first ever Vitality Blast Women's League 2 final, and for that, I think you guys deserve a round of applause. You've had a great competition. You had a great campaign to get here. What would you like to say to your team?
I think we've had a good run. Obviously, coming 9 from 9 into the final, it's it's not bad. Obviously, really proud of the girls, put a lot of effort in. Obviously, a tough one to take, so people aren't probably the happiest, but obviously big thanks to coaches, big thanks to the players, and obviously supporters coming. They've been brilliant the whole campaign, so yeah, just hopefully next year we'll do one better.
Give it up, please, for Yorkshire and Maddie Ward. Thanks, Maddie. Saskia, what a final.
Yeah, wow, I don't think it could have gone any better for us, if I'm honest. Commiserations to Yorkshire, they've been outstanding all year. But yeah, very happy to take the win.
It has been a great competition. As you said, both teams here in the final had a great run. What an amazing advert for women's cricket.
Oh, I think it just shows the depth of cricket around the country. Obviously, I'm from Australia, but as far as the depth of cricket in the UK is incredible, and yeah, it can only get better.
Any special mentions? I mean, your tour opening batters, I mean, what a performance today.
Yeah, Finnan is decided to show up today, which was nice. No, they've been great all comp. But as I've always said, the same sort of thing, different people showing up. You know, I think Katie Wolf today was incredible to bowl those 4 overs, particularly 3 up front for us, to kind of set us up and set our standards. But everyone, you can see people diving around for each other, which is the most pleasing thing for me.
And we mentioned the support. Izzy said it really sort of helped her. How was it for you?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, we have people from different teams also cheering us on, which is always nice. But yeah, the crowd definitely got us through probably some tough moments out there and kept us up, which we really thank for that.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to us, Middlesex captain Saskia Hawley. Go and join your team.
The winners of the Vitality Blast Women's League 2 final are Middlesex.